All right, there you have it. X-Men says Furia is winning, so maybe they are indeed. Of course, we'll head right into the game to see how this one is going. And Bounty almost walked right into that 5-stack here. Spots out the group on the bot lane there with the cheeky ward in the brush. So for now, we'll kick off Furia against the guys over on Flamengo for the last game of the Sunday. CBLOL hot underway on the first week.
Hey, you don't see that every day. It's rejuve beads for bowl. And
Excuse me, what?
yeah, he's got the rejuve beads out here for us, trying to regen a little bit. Both top
That's
laners have ignite
crazy.
teleport. Yeah, it's not the most meta thing. But I think he's probably fine. Both top laners have the ignites coming out here. So it should be fireworks up top side, I would imagine anyway.
I'm so happy about this triple rejuve beans. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. He's definitely rushing some MR there.
Yeah,
oh,
I would say
wait,
so.
right. It's the gem tank, Akali. Now I realized. I was thinking, wait, which item builds out of triple rejuve? It's the gem tank. That's what's going on. Okay.
It definitely makes a lot more sense, that is for sure. Overall vote looking like it is in the favor of Flamengo for the time being. Not 100% on that. I'd take Furia in this matchup any day of the week, I'll tell you. Where Furia are potentially going to fall behind is in the mid lane with Flamengo's Tuts. Tuts, very strong mid laner there, but yeah, it's going to take a while for this Victor to get online for me, and he has to make it past this Envy early game on Vex, so quite the hurdle to climb there. It's Glacial Augment for Leona. Good stuff.
Interesting pickup there.
Yeah.
It's a good tool to kind of support and follow up your engage, especially if you're rushing the new Moonplate item to give your team some extra damage on the targets you go in on. We got some trades in the top lane bowl with some fancy mechanics there.
Yeah, it's great. These trades on the FMB, it's getting a lot of mileage out of those rejuve beads, that's for sure. FMB has pots, though, should be able to regen a little bit of this back up. He also has Conquer. So does Bull.
Ranger with an early gank arriving on the bot lane. Dark Binding gets flashed and did carry behind that one as well. Dark Binding is going to prevent the root, and that's a Xin out of lane again in just a few seconds. But Asta joining in for the counter gank a little bit too early there. If he would have waited a half a second longer, Ranger would have walked right into his trap. Never mind, didn't he see Asta? I don't think they saw Asta. They have no idea that Jarvan is sitting in the river there.
Hard to tell. Yeah, I didn't see the vision toggle there. They might have seen him, but I'm not 100% on that.
Now they've seen him.
Yeah, what I will say is that Ranger burns both those flashes on the bot laners from Flamengo, so it creates a lot of pressure for his side there. It's going to be the gank from Asta, who is playing the extremely long game, might I add. It's just been kind of standing here for quite a while, and he's up in CS on Ranger by 2 camps, and he's going to be able to, increase that lead even further. But yeah, those burn flashes are a big deal for Netuno and Redbird.
Absolutely. We already talked about how the bot lane might be a focus for this game early on, but I was expecting Asta to be the one in charge of that. But for the moment, it definitely seems to be Ranger. And in the top side, Ball is slowly but surely winning out these trades against FNB. I was not expecting that when we started off this game.
Yeah, I wasn't really expecting it either, right? He's going down in CS a little bit, but FMB is by all accounts the better top laner, so I would expect him to go down in CS just naturally. And he's not doing nearly as badly as I thought, and you're correct. He's winning the trades, too. I mean, you could take a look at the health bars. That's all you really need to know. And now, Akali has a bit of lane sustain. You hit the Q right at the edge of it, and it gives you a little bit of regen there. He also obviously has 3 regen beads, so he's just regenning some of this health as well. It's actually regenning a lot more than I thought he would.
He actually had a lane freeze going as well, forcing FNB to recall, get some shopping in, and teleport back to lane. So this is a pretty big win for the Akali in the early, not gonna lie. But of course, Ranger now in the wings, and with
Ooh.
FNB having shopped already, he has a decent power spike on Bowl, so some gank rolling in on the top lane might be something imminent. Was that a run
Could
towards
be,
top?
yeah.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, resetting for the blasting one there gives him massive trade pressure onto Bull, and that's not something you can really contend with. You saw those snips there as he dashed forward. That did quite a bit of damage to the Akali, and yeah, it is going to have to be the reset coming through from Bull. Down the bottom lane, a lot of pressure coming out from Flare and Bounty, as Asta just hasn't really quite had the effect on the top side of the map that maybe FNB would have hoped for. He's been mostly down bot side, and Netsuno and Redbird have been on the unfortunate end of that one. Their jungler Ranger has been spotted out up top side, clearing camps, so they are going to lose that dragon and lose a lot of this priority down bot side.
Yeah, really good call here from Flamengo to go for that Drake pick, because they had the prior on bot, they had a shoved out mid because Envy had just recalled, so they abused that and get the first Infernal Drake, which is
No
massive.
way.
And on the top
Whoa!
side, Bowl is bowling through this one. He is getting that solo kill, First Blood with the Ignite. Beautiful plays here.
I got to tell you, here's the replay. We can watch this for ourselves. What exactly happened here? FNB dashes forward, misses every part of that Q. That is disaster. Bull hits him with the Q, drops off, immediately gets that empowered auto off, hits the second Q, ease back over his head. Third Q gives him the kill. Fantastic play there by Bull. And I got to tell you, Lithy, Bull solo killing FNB was not on my bingo card for this game.
Absolutely not, but hey, that's what Akali does to you. Even the Dark Seal coming in for Bowl. He is feeling confident this game. You love to see it.
Yeah, it's fantastic play there from him, and he's got the Dark Seal. He's also got the Bammy Cinder for the Chem Tank, man. I can't wait to get off this patch, man. Doesn't make any sense, but hey, he's gonna be going for the Chem Tank, I guess.
Hey,
Meanwhile, yeah,
you know,
FNB.
You know
Go
what
ahead,
Akali's
sorry.
biggest weakness is?
I don't now. No.
It's the ban phase.
Yeah, the ban phase is the biggest weakness. That's correct. You got to take this champion away. I guess from Bold now. Honestly, I think I would have thought they were picking it away from FNB if anything. But yeah, I guess now Furia have to ban this away from Bold because he's unstoppable on it apparently.
Yep, information they wish they had before they started off this game. I mean, maybe they were expecting the Akali and thought FNB could just handle it, but for the moment it seems like they are not prepared to deal with that top laner. And let's see if Bolo can snowball that through the rest of the game. But for now, we got to focus our eyes on some of the objectives that are still up. We can see the pings already going out on the minimap towards the Heralds, so that might be coming up soon. Always a great target to go for when you're playing against the Victor, because you want to get that tier 1 turret mid out as soon as possible to prevent Victor from getting into that upgraded death ray and just wave clearing in front of your nose.
It's a great point there. And even as FNB has been ahead in CS the majority of this game, Bull is right there behind him, right? And now he's created a vacuum up topside where his team can take advantage of that control and rotate over for this Rift Herald, creating even more pressure for themselves. Hopefully they take this, just drop it top, and continue to try and snowball this Akali, who's been so effective for their team so far.
Yep. But it is a Herald claimed actually for Flamengo, so much about the pressure on the Victor. I'm curious what Asta is going to do with that one, because there are some possibilities and there are platings to be taken. Ideally, like, X-Men, whom would you funnel plating gold on in this team? The Akali, even?
Yeah, I would say the Akali. Yeah, I think you drop it topside and try to keep this snowball going here, as it were. There's a case to be made for the mid lane as well. Tuts is doing really well at CSing in this mid lane, and he has not been out of the lane very much either. Obviously, hasn't died, but has been really good about not having to take the resets. So he's super high level, level 8 right now. Everybody is on the map, but you see, yeah, he's got the most CS in the game right now, so he's doing pretty well.
We got the Murchas as well coming in for a ball. Like, this man is going all out on the tank build. There is no way FNB can kill him anytime soon unless he gets some help. So this top lane dead in the water for Furia at the moment. Absolutely unexpected for us. Flamengo, well, looking pretty good right now. And bot lane is still just looking like some good old ADC poke back and forth.
Yeah, some long-range AD carries just kind of shooting back and forth at each other there, looking for an opening from both supports, but not finding one easily. It's a lot of the reason the observer has not been on the bot lane very much. It's two sides looking for an opening, not finding one for about 10 minutes so far.
Yeah.
And, yeah, that's been the story of this bot lane here. FNB looking for the verdant barrier up top side, just trying to survive the onslaught that Bull is laying down for him currently. And things have slowed down quite a bit up top side as well, as I think FNB is starting to get the message. Hey, maybe you can't 1v1 this guy as easily as you thought.
Absolutely. And I mean, we talked about it last game already, right? There are points in the game where you just can't do much because there aren't really any objectives up you can fight for. And that's definitely the case here again. I mean, we have an Ocean Drake up and running, which is being taken by Furia at the moment. Really important pickup to kind of deny that region from the boys over on Flamengo. But this also means we'll see in a second which rift we're getting. And since we're in the new season, there's some interesting stuff. So here we go, X-Men. What is it going to be? It is a Hextech rift. Ooh, color me interested.
For sure, and there is a lot to be interested about this dragon and about the soul, the map there too. Here's the curtain call. Not expecting much to come out of this. I think you just drop this, take the reset, but we'll see what they do down bot side. But yeah, the Hextech gates are the things you want to look out for here. Very interesting addition to the map. Rifthill dropped up topside. FNB hung out to dry.
FNB standing to fight for this? They could easily dive him with 3-man. But actually, with the needlework invested, there's some good wave clear on the Gwen, so for now they're fine. But there's a fight going on in the bot lane. The ult coming out from the Morgana gets flashed beautifully. Envy is around as well. They're trying to punish their top lane play with a gank of their own on the bot side, but it's beautifully played by the Flamengo bot laners. Flare and Bounty standing strong.
You gotta admire the respect that Flamengo are paying to FNB this far, and you have to imagine that the staff on Flamengo, who previously worked with FNB, told their team going into this game, hey, I don't care if you have a 3v1 advantage. I don't care if you have a Rift Herald crashing into his turret. Do not dive this guy. Under any circumstance, he will triple kill you. All right? Just back off. Wait until you have like a 10k gold lead or something, and then try and kill him, because you're going to need it. And that is what you need to take FNB down. That's why I'm so surprised that he got solo killed by Bold just now, because this guy is a fantastic top laner.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, X-Men, you actually called him in our little talk about the season coming into this, one of the best top laners in the region, and he's a Brazilian through and through. So people are definitely excited to see him in the league again. But for now, he's taking some hits on that top side for the moment. Maybe the adaptation to the new season a little bit hurting him, not being prepared for a tank Akali.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he wasn't aware of the tech or maybe he underestimated it. I know I certainly have. Oh, jeez. Flare just disappears. Wow.
I was looking at my notes for like half a second. I have no idea what just happened. Damn, yeah, that's Envy, a quick kill.
It really was. Envy ulted him from downtown, of course, gets the big engage there off the Vex ultimate, and followed up with the ace in the hole. That was just enough to bring Flare down, even under turret. But that's a lot of burst damage there from the Vex.
Yep, that's a Vex for you. You gotta watch out with those roams and then TPs right back to mid. Envy having a good time. So, yeah, we kind of touched on this mid lane matchup as well, right? Envy, one of the star players on Furia as well. We've been talking about FNB the whole time, but we clearly got to pay some more attention to both Netsuno on the Caitlyn and Envy in the mid.
We certainly do. You love that shot of the Hextech gates working, right? What a great effect that was that they built for that particular mechanic. But it also gives obviously the mobility to the team, but especially the junglers, right? I mean, you get that teleport directly into your jungle, which is so good.
Actually
Bolt is down for free.
Sorry for interrupting you there, but they actually managed to snatch away turret first blood from Bull.
Oh, they did. Yeah, you're right. Huh. Yeah, they got it from him. That's pretty surprising. I would have thought that top lane turret goes down for sure, but yeah,
Yeah,
they do get it away from him. That's
that's
wild.
massive. That's massive.
It certainly is. Flamengo looking for the Rift Herald now. Doesn't look like Furia are too interested in contesting. Maybe they just don't know. I don't think they have vision.
Yeah, there's a pink ward in the pit blocking out that blue trinket, but on the other side, you have Gwen in the base, you have Vax on top lane. You're not really in a position to contest this properly. And Netuno still pushing that mid lane, so they're definitely prioritizing some objective pressure in the moment over contesting the objective, but we'll see if they get punished for it. So far, Asta has been decently on point with the rotations and macro plays, but not too impactful on the Jarvan in itself, because usually you'd expect a Jarvan to have a little bit more impact in the early game.
I absolutely would, right? Huge early game jungler there, and neither jungler really has had much of the effect that we thought they would. It's been a real day of slow junglers, I would say. Not a lot of jungle damage coming out. Not a lot of high octane ganks either, right? So that's definitely been something we've been missing in CBLOL so far, but it has made for some spectacular lane plays. I will say that these lane champions are being left to their own devices and being able to scale up so far in the game. But yeah, I'd definitely like to see these early game junglers try to make more of an effort to just get in the lane, get in enemy laners' faces, right? Try to make life difficult for them.
Absolutely. But I think the laners' lives have been difficult enough, at least for the laners on Furia's side. But we have Envy defending his turret with tooth and nail, burning the Vex ultimate, and Asta barely gets out with his life, actually. There's so much damage on this Vex right now. You really, really got to be careful in the upcoming fights, because you don't want to get hit by that stuff.
For sure. Wanted to point out here going forward that both Netuno and Tuts have been over 10 CS per minute for the majority of this game. Those are wild numbers, right? You don't really get those numbers in minor regions unless you're completely uncontested. And you got to get on top of the contest there. You got to make sure that Tuts is not just free hitting minions on Victor. Same thing for Netuno, one of the best AD carries in this league. You can't just leave him to his own devices with a wave. You have to make sure you're harassing as much as possible. And they just haven't been doing it up till this point, up till just now when Furia made a big play around Tuts lane and have now put him a little bit behind here.
Yeah. You got to keep an eye on Netuno, that's for sure. For the moment, it's kind of funny how we always go back into these states of, well, just let him CS. We'll see how we get there when we're there. Once they have picked up some more farm, because there's really not much going on. We might see some more contended tier 1 turrets in the mid lane or the bot lane. There's some pings going out from Flamengo there. I want to target that turret now that Akali is swapped over to the bot side. But other than that, not really much going on. Baron up in a minute, but not really a time in the game where you can test this. But maybe Bounty looking for a fight. Solar Flare hits FNB on the side. They're just as slow, but here is the fight. Victor with some good damage. Massive ult engaged there from Asta. Beautiful Cataclysm in the middle of there. But here comes Envy. Massive ult there from the Vex. The engage sits, but Bull is still in the fight. You gotta watch out with that Akali. He takes down one and gets out the blast cone. Definitely gonna help him here, but oh no. Oh yes. Oh no, never mind. I was gonna say beautiful movement tech there with the shuriken, but beautiful follow-up from FMB as well. And they take the fight for themselves. I'd say the COD call is almost even, but still, Flamengo, they were on the engage. They should have had this.
Bull almost got away with it, right? And yeah, I'll agree. I think they probably should have had a bit better of an engage there. The solar flare, I don't think hit anybody, even at the edges of it. That's a pretty rough way to start a fight off. And Ranger is answering back in kind immediately with the counter engage, right? Directly in on your carries. Not a good start at all. After that, Bull lays down a lot of nice damage. Asta with the sweet Cataclysm. Everything was looking really good for Flamengo, but things started to fall apart a little bit as they separated, and Bull found himself on the wrong end of 3 enemy members there and was not able to escape in the enemy jungle. FNB topside.
Speaking of the wrong end of 3 enemy members, that's 3 people ganking FNB on the top side. This time around, the Solar Flare connects, and Bounty is gonna collect some treasure for his efforts. And still, you have the Furia members in the wings ready to pounce on that tier 1 turret while FNB was taking it down. And once again, Flamengo just getting ahead of them and punishing them before they can go for a play, taking their momentum away.
Great points to be sure. Ooh, Dark Binding just barely goes wide. Ass is back over
Asta?
the wall, though?
That's dangerous. There's an ace in the hole here. Doesn't have a flash. He used that on the team fight. Gets out with the next flag and drag, but there's a follow-up coming in from Envy on the Vex. But here comes Flare. You don't want to mess with the ADC in this position. It's down to a 3v4, but the TP still comes in. That's FNB looking for some assists here. And they do dive Tuts underneath the turret without any issues. Flare does have the curtain call. He's fairly close. You gotta watch out. Redbird gets taken out with the force shot, though, but FNB is still hot on their tails. That's a quick win, but they still get away with murder in the truest sense of the name here. But still, Furia get away with a turret? That's not necessarily ideal.
Yeah, not the best for them there. They do lose their support. Lost their jungle, their mid laner there too, but yeah, they get that turret down. I'm wondering who's going to have first move here onto this dragon as it spawns. It's looking like it's going to be Flamengo. Hopefully they can turn that into a Drake here and break up some of that dragon dominance that Furia have established moving into the mid game. Bulls here in the death bush should be able to get Natuno. He's in.
Oh, he catches Netuno. There's a Solar Flare and the Jarvan invest, and they take him out. What an important pick that was. It's going to net them their second Drake of the game, and with that, prevent Furia from grabbing Soul Point. And that is such an important pickup with the Hextech Soul being on the line.
Great stuff for them there. They get a Hextech Drake in there as well. Lots of good stats in those dragons built in, so you'll love to see that there, and see if they can turn this into any additional advantages moving forward. What a great death bush set up by Bowl, and a serious misstep by Netuno, just walking into an area where you don't have vision. You can't be doing that if you're the AD carry, right? You can't be getting picked off like that. Not when you're on the team comp that is supposed to be picking enemy champions. You're supposed to be the one in the death bush. You have to get first move on
Hex Flash. Bounty goes in. Beautiful Dark Shield, and Ranger should be able to walk out of that. There's enough damage to break the shield, though. Bo trying to follow up. Lots of damage coming up from the tank Akali. That's why the build is so dangerous at the moment. Flare doesn't land the shots with the curtain call on the right targets, though it is the Xin getting out without dying, but still so much pressure created from that little catch from Flamengo.
Really was there, and Demonic Embrace is completed by Bowl. Super tanky now with the Chem Tank on top there. It's also got a Rod in the inventory, so dealing a lot of damage from this Akali. It's good stuff. You like to see it. That build is super broken, and I'm glad they patched it out almost immediately. It's just
yeah.
Why is this in the game, man?
Hey, I'm a top lane main. You're talking to the right person. I'm not a fan either, but hey, that's just what top lane does. It does some weird stuff sometimes. We talked about Leona and the Glacial Augment earlier. There's the new Lunar Plate coming in for Leona. A little bit of extra damage for their team. Interesting pickup as well.
Good stuff there for them. Like that, I believe the item's called like Even Shroud or something.
Yes, right. I completely forgot the name. Thank you.
Well, I don't think we've seen it too much in pro play, so you're definitely fine there not knowing the name. But yeah, it's an interesting item, especially for Leona to have activating on CC there.
Oh, there's a connection on the Victor. That's big. And the follow-up from Vex is just as good. Envy going in hard. The Zhonya's keeping him safe for the moment, and the fight definitely going towards Furia here. The re-engage. Envy puts his team on his back, and he carries it home through this fight. But there still is Ball to deal with. He has the re-engage, the perfect execution, and the Shroud to get out, get away with murder. He even gets out of the fight. Wind turns lightning. flying as he strikes, and Ranger picks up the last kill for his team. But still, that fight went great for Furia, not what they have been showing the whole game so far.
Hey, that wind did kind of hit like lightning, didn't it? That looked like it hurt there. Ball goes down to the Xinjiao, and they dropped just one member, the Netuno, once again, but they have 4 left for the Baron. They will take that objective down. Looks like it's going to be uncontested too here. We'll see if Asta is able to make it over in time. I do not think he will. There's no vision there on the objective either, so it goes down for them. 3-minute power play over to Furia, and they have so much on the map left to take. All those inner turrets are up, the inhib turrets, inhibs as well, and they're going to be taking it all here in this next power play.
Absolutely. You can see the pushes with Ranger as the tip of the spear, quite in the literal sense. They're just plowing into the enemy jungle. They pick the fights they want, and at this point it doesn't look like Flamengo is really ready to handle them. The only one who's holding his own in the fights currently is Bol.
And he's holding quite his own there, right? I mean, he's having some pretty good fights, but yeah, Tuts is going down super fast, Flare going down super fast. Bounty and Asta just here's the
Oh, there's
fight.
a re-engage. There's a curtain call from downtown. They are going in hard, but there comes FNB with a flank, and you don't want to get into the way of the girl that runs with scissors. The needlework does some massive damage, but now Tuts and Flare, they can kite. That's what they're good at, but they get the drop on the Jhin. That's nothing more he can do, but still the Victor is a massive wedge in your path if you want to get in with some minions. The Baron Boy buff is going to help there, but still, that death ray is absolutely deadly. You gotta be careful with that, and with FNB and Redbird being so low, Tuts definitely has some angles to act here. Still, has to give up that inhibitor. Furia get away with that one, a 4.6k gold Baron power play, and they are still not through. A Drake ready for the pickup, and 1 more minute of the buff.
It's great play from Furia, right? They rotate back on this Drake here too. They get this for free on top of everything else they've gotten. They took that entire mid lane down, rotating back on the Dragon. Super good play for them there. It all started with that ill-fated engage by Asta. Just no real follow-up from them, right? Bol's doing his best. He's trying to get in there, get the damage down, but unfortunately he does have to get out when his health bar gets low, and that ace in the hole caught him at the end of the fight there too, so he didn't even get out with his own life. But unfortunate fight for Flamengo. They are first back on the map. They steal away a quick turret there. A little bit of gold back over in the pockets, as they do have the objective bounties enabled for them here.
Yep, objective bounties, one of the new additions this season. You get some extra gold when you take them, or when you take these objectives when you are far behind, and I think currently triggers at about 5k gold difference, but still, it's not much. It's like, what, 250 gold for a tier 1 turret, so yeah, Flamengo is, well, it's a little bit of bird feed, nothing else, right? So for now, they still have to weather the storm that is this onslaught onto their inhibitor turret, and I'm not quite sure how they can do that.
Not too sure either, right? That power play ends. They picked up 4.2 K gold just in the last 3 minutes off of that power play. And that's basically, all she wrote. I mean, you got like a 6K gold lead here now. That's wild, right? I mean, I think you just have to put the final nail in the coffin here with that last Hextech Dragon, and then the game is yours. But Bolt's going to do his best to try and prevent that. Guy's done a lot of damage previously. He seems to be running out of steam, but maybe he still has more in that chem tank.
I like what you did there. I like it. But yeah, you're absolutely right. The Akali falling off a little bit at the moment, but there are still 2 items to go for her, so she'll get a little bit deadlier towards the end of the game again, but for the moment, it really does look like the game is in Furia's hands. They had a little bit of a rough start through the early and the mid game, but by now, 2 or 3 really, really good fights for them made them recover, brought them back into the game, and for now, it seems like they are definitely in the driver's seat, and it is not looking great for Flamengo. Still, we have a bot lane push going on. We're going to siege up that tier 2, and we'll see if Asta finds a good engage here.
I'm hoping against hope here for Flamengo fans that they can. Bull is trying to get that flank. He's on a ward though, so it's not looking good here for the engage so far. He's going to burn FMB spell shield. That's pretty big for them moving here in the next fight. Little fight over vision here.
Yeah. It's pretty hard to siege here as well without the Baron buff, because look at the Victor wave clear.
Yeah, the wave clear is really nice from the Victor there, and they are outranged a little bit too. Jins bring a lot of range to the table, but keep in mind Envy has a fantastic way to initiate fights. He does also have the Zhonya's Hourglass and the ult combo. Both are up, so that's really the engage they're looking for right now. They might even go in just as they step outside turret range.
Yep.
See.
But I mean, they don't need to force fights, because they have the mid lane rolling in. They are forcing someone to retreat at some point to take care of that, and that one is Bowl at the moment. On top of that, Tuts as well, and for the moment it seems like everyone is pulling back because they want to prep for that next Baron spawning in 30 seconds. That's definitely helping you crack the base or retake the game if Flamengo managed to flip that.
Great point there for sure. That rod did get turned into Shadow Flame some time ago for Bowl, so very high damage build at this point with that item completed. And he also has the stopwatch in hand there too. Several members on the map actually do. There's 5 stopwatches, 6 total across the map here. Almost everybody has one, and if you don't, you have Zhonya's Hourglass. So is just waiting for that next fight to break out. Everybody should be popping those stopwatches.
Yeah, a little bit of a unfavorable position for Flamengo at the moment, because Bowl doesn't have the TP quite ready yet. It's a few seconds out, and everyone is grouping in mid lane. Baron about to be pulled. At least the contest it's going to start, and Bowl now finally joining the team. This is going to be a wild fight, X-Men.
It sure will be. It starts with the curtain call.
Yep, curtain call goes in. Redbird is going to get chunked out, but they don't have real vision. Now a pink ward in the pit, and Faster looking to go in. Solar Flare goes wide, Ball trying to connect. There's the Jarvan in the pit. Cataclysm goes in. Baron down to 800, and it goes over to the Flamengos. Ball still on the side. It's a beautiful fight for the blue team as Flare goes in hard with the Gale Force. But here comes Envy. He gets the ult. He reconnects on Flare, almost bursts down the Jhin. He doesn't quite die, but he has to leave the fight, and it is all Furia. Ball maybe can turn it around, gets killed off by Netuno, and the Caitlyn is gonna nail that thing down. Ace in the hole from downtown gives Furia the ace, and it's gonna be the game-ending push for them as well, even though they did not get the Baron. But what a wild fight that was.
Asta just doing everything he could to make sure he got that objective, but his entire team dies on the back end in the fight, and it's gonna lose him the game. That feels so bad. He tried so hard, but man, what a game from Furia, top to bottom. This is such a fantastic performance. Here's Asta with the final attempt.
He goes back in. Final attempt indeed, but it is in vain. A last Solar Flare for some sunshine on that win. Sunshine in the morning, in the evening, whatever time it is for you. Furia is winning this one, sending Flamengo